Hi, I'm Kat,
And I'm Mel.
and this is Our Lupie Life,
where we sit and talk about our lives and what it's like to have a chronic illness.
If you like this kind of thing or you're just digging our vibe, stay and listen for a while. Today's topic of discussion is Autoimmune Disease Awareness Month. Our goal in this episode is to spread awareness for the 100 plus autoimmune diseases there are in the world. And if you are one of the millions suffering with an autoimmune disease, just know you are not alone. We want to explain a little bit in more depth of what is an autoimmune disease. Your immune system protects you by defending the body from disease and infection. When your immune system detects a threat such as toxins, bacteria, or a virus, it mounts an immune response and produces antibodies with white blood cells to fight the invader. When you have an autoimmune disease, however, your immune system activates in an inappropriate and abnormal manner. Unable to distinguish between self and non-self proteins, a dysfunctional immune system mistakes the body's own cells for harmful invaders. It produces cells and antibodies that target, attack, and damage healthy cells, tissues, and organs. The result is a wide spectrum of possible symptoms and severities. To source this quote, it's from autoimmuneinstitute.org.
A lot of the information we'll be speaking on today, statistics, is from that website. There are over 80 to 100 autoimmune diseases, many of which have subtypes that are being discovered and distinguished. These include common diseases as well as those still considered to be rare. Certain autoimmune diseases are well known to be common based on research studies and physician experience in clinic, hospital, or other data, and patient-reported information. Some autoimmune diseases are organ-specific as they affect certain areas of the body only, such as the heart, kidney, skin, or cell-specific, as in like type 1 diabetes, the insulin producing cells of the pancreas. Most are also systemic, meaning that damage results in different tissues of the body, like lupus. Examples of systemic autoimmune diseases are Sjogren's syndrome, systemic lupus erythematosus, scleroderma, rheumatoid arthritis, and celiac disease. I researched online to find information regarding these questions that Kat and I had. So, how many autoimmune diseases are prevalent globally? And what percentage of diseases are most common and in what countries? This is the information that I found. It's currently estimated that between 80 and 150 distinct autoimmune diseases are known globally. While many are considered rare individually, they collectively affect roughly 10% of the global population as of 2026.
Wow.
That's a lot. 10%.
That's millions. Billions? I don't even know.
That should have been the third question. But we're going to dive deeper into the details on each of the diseases and their percentage worldwide, and then like a little bit of more information on each disease, like a short definition and who it affects most, in what regions, what races.
Yeah, so stick with us. It's going to be a lot of statistics and a lot of
Yes,
numbers, but
it really is.
It's really important because even I didn't know a lot of these before Mel kindly did all the research, and I didn't even know some of the actual words to some of them.
Yeah, like Sjogren's really fucked us up.
Sjogren's.
Erythromycin. Oh my god.
I may have cut out 15 minutes of us trying to pronounce a lot of these things. But anyway, the prevalence of these diseases is not uniform across the globe. There is a distinct geographical gradient where incidence rates are significantly higher.
Global prevalence and geographical trends. A person's risk and the specific type of autoimmune disease they are likely to develop often depend on their geography, climate, and ethnic background. Okay, guys, so I have a chart which shows the most popular autoimmune diseases globally and the ranking, like, the most popular, the second most popular, and so on and so forth. So, ranking number one as the most common autoimmune disease globally is Hashimoto's. It takes up an average of 1 to 5% globally, and it's most um, higher in women. Just to give a little shout out, we're going to be having a special guest join our podcast within the next couple of months.
Oh, yes, yes.
And the person has one of their autoimmune diseases is Hashimoto's. So we're going to be going way deeper into what Hashimoto's is, their personal story,
Yes,
symptoms, and their life. And so I'm really excited to share that with you. We will give more details soon.
Yes.
Just a little sneak peek with our evil scientist hand motions.
You cannot see us right now, but we are doing the little
spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a little sneak peek. Stay tuned because that is going to be a really, really interesting, emotional episode.
Highly educational.
And very educational.
Even for us. Because
Yes.
we did not know a lot about Hashimoto's until we heard this person's story. Mm-hmm. And I was about to slip, but I'm not going to tell you.
No, we're not sharing who it is yet, so you have to stay tuned.
It is a secreto.
Okay, back to the lesson at hand. Number 2 is psoriasis, which is an average of 2 to 3% of the population.
So number 3 is Graves' disease, which is a 1 to 1.5% of the global population. And the leading cause of that is hypothyroidism. At number 4, celiac disease, which is 1% of the global population, but a lot of cases remain undiagnosed.
Number 5 is rheumatoid arthritis, which is 0.5 to 1% of the global population. Number 6 is alopecia, which is 0.1 to 0.2% of the population.
The next one, and number 7, is vitiligo, which is 0.5 to 1% of the population. Number 8, Sjogren's syndrome, 0.2 to 0.5%.
Little fun fact about that. It often occurs with patients that have rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. They often develop Sjogren's. Did I say that right? Sjogren's. I'm so sorry if I am butchering that name. I apologize. Number 9 is type 1 diabetes, which is an average of 0.2 to 0.4% of the global population. But those percentages are changing annually, about 3% in many different countries with the rising diagnostics.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is multiple sclerosis, which is an average of 0.03 to 0.1%.
At number 11 is psoriatic arthritis at 0.1 to 0.2. It occurs roughly through 30% of people who have psoriasis. Number 12 is ulcerative colitis, is 0.1 to 0.2% of the population.
And then number 13 is Crohn's disease, which is a 0.1%. And then the last one, drum roll,
please.
Not to make it super special, it's just special to us, I guess. It's lupus, SLE, which is an average of 0.02 to 1% of the global population. Also, it's estimated that about 5 million people worldwide have some form of lupus.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I also want to give like a little sneak peek to the future episodes.
Yes.
We know several different people with a lot of these autoimmune diseases. So our plan is to have them come onto our podcast as special guests to share their story, what they struggle with, their symptoms, their diagnosis story, and just kind of overall their life. A few of them are very special to us. So we're very excited to share that with you. We're not going to tell you who just yet.
Should we give them a little sneak peek and what diseases are we talking about today?
Okay.
Or not today, but that day?
Yeah, sure.
So you say the first one.
So within the next few months, we're going to be having someone very dear to us share their story of Hashimoto's.
And type 1 diabetes.
Yes, yes.
It's a little bit of a fun mix she has there.
Yes. Oh, you said she. We're not supposed to give it away.
Oopsie.
But yeah, so stay tuned because that's going to be a very heartfelt and educational episode. I was going to say something different. We also know someone with celiac disease and Graves' disease. And so we're really hoping that they will join our podcast as well.
Yes.
To share their stories and so we can spread awareness and give some more information on each of those.
Yes, and also as a shout out to you guys, if you guys want any specific in-depth episodes about any of these diseases, maybe something that you deal with and want to know more about, or you know someone that has that disease, please shout out.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. We want to hear feedback from you. We want to know what you would like us to incorporate more. So, yeah. While all autoimmune diseases involve the immune system attacking healthy tissue, they are often categorized by the specific target they focus on. So now we're going to focus on the targeted systems. The endocrine system, the hormone system, is mainly targeted by Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, and type 1 diabetes. The next one is the digestive system, which is mainly attacked by celiac disease, IBD, Crohn's disease, and colitis. Next is skin and joints. That is attacked by psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, alopecia, and vitiligo. Multiple sclerosis attacks the central nervous system, and systematic lupus attacks the systemic multi-organ.
So it can be any.
Yeah, so it can be
whole body.
Whole body.
We got a whole body experience here, folks.
Full body.
Next up, I just wanted to give some quick definitions on each of these autoimmune disorders that we have listed. Now, I know that there are many, many other autoimmune diseases. Like we said, it's like around 100 or more.
100 plus.
These are just the most common globally. So don't feel left out if you have an autoimmune disease that we have not mentioned. I apologize. Shout out to us in the comments. Let us know what you have. We'll definitely dive deeper into it, and we can make a whole segment on it if you'd like.
Yes.
So don't feel left out. These are just what our online sources have cited as the most common. So I'm just going to give a rough little definition for each one. So rheumatoid arthritis has about 18 million cases globally. It specifically targets the joint lining, causing painful swelling that can eventually lead to bone erosion and joint deformity. Because it is a systemic disease, it also affects other parts of the body, including the eyes, lungs, and heart. Highest rates are on average in US, Canada, and Australia. Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder that causes the thyroid gland to become overactive, a condition also known as hyperthyroidism. And the highest concentrated diagnosed cases are currently in North America and Europe, where iodine sufficient diets and high diagnostic screenings are standard. Hashimoto's thyroiditis, also known as chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis. Hashimoto's is where the immune system attacks the thyroid gland, while Graves' disease causes the thyroid to work too hard. Hashimoto's does the opposite. The immune system gradually destroys the thyroid ability to produce hormones. Psoriasis causes skin cells to build up rapidly, far faster than the body can shed them. This results in thick, red, itchy, and often very painful patches of skin covered with silvery scales, known as plaques. It's more prevalent in Western Europe and North America. Type 1 diabetes. It attacks and destroys the insulin-producing beta cells in the pancreas. Multiple sclerosis attacks the immune system by attacking the myelin sheath, which is the protective covering of nerve fibers in the central nervous system. This causes communication issues between your brain and the rest of the body, potentially leading to nerve damage or deterioration. It's most commonly prevalent in Canada and Scotland. Next is inflammatory bowel disease, which is a term for a group of autoimmune disorders characterized by chronic destructive inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, which is rapidly rising in urban areas like Denmark, Canada, and Iceland. Next is vitiligo, which is a skin disease that occurs when autoantibodies attack melanocytes, which are skin cells that produce melanin. There are two main types of vitiligo: non-segmental and segmental. Non-segmental have symmetrical white patches on both sides of the body, and segmental affects just one area of the body. Next on the list is lupus, systemic lupus erythematosus. It's a chronic autoimmune disease where the body's immune system becomes hyperactive and attacks its own healthy tissues and organs. Unlike many other autoimmune diseases that target a single organ, like the thyroid or the joints or just the skin, lupus is systemic, meaning it can cause inflammation and tissue damage anywhere in the body. Like we said, it's a whole body experience.
So some interesting facts about where some of these are most prevalent
And why.
Are the westernization effect. Now that's a really interesting effect that we've learned about.
Mm-hmm.
It is as countries in South Asia and the Middle East adopt Western diets and lifestyles, increased processed foods, urbanization, and less sun exposure, they're seeing a sharp rise in diseases like IBD and lupus, which are previously rare in those regions. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of statistics now showing us that the westernization effect is a real thing that's happening to so many places. And now the next one is the latitude rule. Historically, diseases like multiple sclerosis and type 1 diabetes follow a latitude gradient where populations further from the equator, like lower vitamin D levels, show much higher prevalence. So that's definitely an interesting one too. Diagnostic gaps. While the data suggests higher rates in the US and Europe, reaching about to 20% of the population in some estimates, experts believe many cases in the sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia go undiagnosed due to the lack of specialized rheumatologists and healthcare in general. Yeah. And there's also the demographic split. Across almost all countries, women are significantly more affected, making up roughly about 75 to 80% of all autoimmune patients. Wow, 75% to 80%? Like, do we know why women are affected more?
Yeah. The combination of the X chromosome inactivation, the hormone differences, we have more estrogen, and stronger immune system responses. Specifically, the inactivation process of the second X chromosome can trigger self-targeting immune antibodies, while estrogen can boost immune reactivity, sometimes causing inflammation and damage to healthy tissues. That was from Ohio State Health and Discovery website.
Wow, so another great resource.
Yeah, well, part of the statistics were from there. A lot of the other, interesting facts, the westernization effect and latitude rule, diagnostic gaps, and demographic split, those were all from the previous website, the autoimmuneinstitute.org. Here are some more interesting facts. These are concentrated more on the rate increase of autoimmune diseases in people of color. Starting with African American and Black individuals, they have the highest risk for systemic lupus erythematosus, SLE, and systemic sclerosis, and a higher mortality rate for diseases like MS. Next would be Hispanic and Latino population. They have a higher prevalence of lupus, with some studies indicating that they are the largest group affected by autoimmune hepatitis in certain regions. Next is Asian individuals. They have a higher incidence of lupus SLE, particularly in women and men under 60. South Asian populations also show a higher incidence of rheumatoid arthritis.
Lastly, we have Native Americans, which have a higher rate of rheumatoid arthritis and ulcerative colitis, and we get these statistics from the Global Autoimmune Institute.
Now we want to focus on the men and women of color that were diagnosed with autoimmune diseases, but still made a huge impact on the world. Now, this was supposed to be in honor of Black History Month for February last month. Unfortunately, we were not able to get it out in time. I'm so sorry, but we still felt it's very important and we really wanted to share this with you all. People of color often suffer longer without treatment and diagnosis because of the stigma of them just being dramatic or making it up. It's mainly just blatant racism in Western medicine. In all honesty. Shout out to the famous Black women and men who have been diagnosed with these autoimmune diseases. We have a list here that we'd like to share. These sources are from the Lupus Foundation of America. So the first list is famous Black women with lupus. That's specifically lupus, and then we'll go into more in detail the other autoimmune diseases later. So we have Toni Braxton. She's one of the many famous people that are most vocal about lupus awareness. She's a singer that was diagnosed with lupus SLE in 2008. She's been very open about how the disease affects her heart and her kidneys.
Next is Mooney Long. She's a Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter. She has publicly discussed her daily struggle with lupus-related pain and the difficulties Black women face in being heard by the healthcare system.
Another famous Black woman is Cordy Brodus. She's the daughter of Snoop Dogg. She was diagnosed with lupus at the age of 6 and has been transparent about her journey, including hair loss and skin flares.
Also, we have Shannon Box, an Olympic gold medalist. I don't even know how, but girl, get it.
Yeah.
And professional soccer player. Box was diagnosed with SLE in 2007 and played through most of her career while managing the condition. Can we say now, superstar?
Yeah. Now, not to downplay the singers and other artists, because that's hard too. You know by firsthand experience how hard being a singer.
Yeah.
It's a full body.
It's very physical.
Yeah.
But Olympic athlete.
Yeah, that's amazing. So kudos to you, Miss Box. That's amazing.
Yes. Wow. And next we have Echo Brown. The late author and performer was diagnosed in 2015. She used her platform to discuss her battle with lupus-related renal failure. So superstar still.
Sadly, she's passed away at the age of 39, September 16th of 2023. So,
yes.
Rest in peace. Our condolences to the family and friends.
Of course.
Sorry, I got a little teary-eyed there.
Sad, yeah.
It's sad. She's 39.
Yeah.
That could be us in 5 years.
Don't even say it.
No, that's what it gets to me. It makes me very emotional because it's like, it could be us.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why we wanted to start this podcast and spread awareness and share our stories.
Next, we have Kelly Blackman, the daughter of the Emmy Award-winning anchor Brenda Blackman. Her 2008 diagnosis led her mother to fund the Kelly Blackman Fund for Lupus. So that's really awesome.
Next on our list is Sheila Bridges. The high-profile interior designer has spoken about her experience with alopecia areata and lupus. Next, we have a list of famous Black men with lupus. First up is Nick Cannon. The entertainer was diagnosed with lupus nephritis, which is kidney inflammation caused by lupus SLE. He was diagnosed in 2012 and has since become a major lupus warrior for the foundation.
The next is Seal, which I had no idea he had DLE, which is discoid lupus erythematosus, a specific form of lupus that primarily affects the skin and caused the characteristic scarring on his face.
And he's been a very big advocate for the lupus community. Next is Michael Jackson, who suffered with both lupus and vitiligo. The next on the list is Trick Daddy, a famous rapper who has lupus. Next is Tim Raines, who's an MLB Hall of Famer. He was diagnosed in 1999 after experiencing extreme fatigue and kidney issues caused by the disease. Dilla, the legendary hip-hop producer who sadly passed away in 2006 because of his battle with lupus and a rare blood disease. Rest in peace.
Yes.
And condolences to his family and friends as well.
Yes.
Next, we have a list of very notable public figures that were diagnosed with other autoimmune diseases. First up, we have Venus Williams, who, if you don't know, is the tennis champion. She was diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome. Next on the list is Missy Elliott. The singer-songwriter was diagnosed with Graves' disease.
And we have Wendy Williams, the television host personality, revealed in 2018 that she has Graves' disease. Tia Mowry, the actress, was diagnosed with endometriosis.
Last on our list is Solange Knowles. She's a singer and songwriter, revealed in 2017 that she had been diagnosed with posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, also known as POTS, as well as MCAS, which stands for mast cell activation syndrome, and
Sjogren's.
She's got a triple whammy there.
Yeah, poor thing.
So we just want to say a big thank you to all of these men and women who have made such a big difference in the autoimmune disease community by spreading awareness, by donating, by making these platforms heard, and continuing to raise awareness.
Yes, especially it cannot be easy to talk so openly about something like this. When you're so famous, you have all eyes on you to speak about your truth, speak about your pain, speak about all the stuff that you go through. That's hard.
Yeah, especially because unfortunately, people may look at them differently.
Well, of course. And we know that.
We know that from personal
firsthand
as well, yeah.
But to have fame, another thing
and
on top of that.
Stress.
That's a lot of
much
stress.
Extra stress, which probably caused and contributed to a lot of their symptoms.
Of course. And that's another reason why we want to shout out these people for making a difference.
Yes.
So thank
you. Yes, a round of applause for you all. We appreciate every effort. And I'm sure there are many men and women that were not listed.
Many more.
We want to thank you as well. The next little topic of discussion would be how to advocate for yourself in your own treatment, because a lot of times we can be dismissed, shut down, especially people of color. Like we talked about, Western medicine can be very racist.
Yes.
It's a really fucking shitty thing.
Yes.
So we're trying to spread awareness to that as well. Advocate for yourselves, please. There's different ways you can do that. First one would be just kind of like a general, a lot of medical groups and places have online websites or apps that you can use so you can communicate with your doctor via messages on there. That way there's a legitimate time-stamp paper trail in your medical chart in case you ever need to go back to it and refer, or your doctor needs to go back to it and refer, or if you need to file a complaint or a grievance by the type of care you received. If you're being openly dismissed in that type of like messaging in your chart. So
for your records.
That would be really great for your records. Keeping a written record is always going to be beneficial.
Especially if you feel like you're being mistreated or misdiagnosed or malpracticed.
100%.
All these things.
100%. I was going to say number 2. But yeah, number 2, the second way to advocate for yourself is to lean on family members and friends or any type of support system that you have. If you're able to, take them with you to doctor's appointments. We know how stressful doctor's appointments and hospital visits can be. We're in pain. We're struggling. We're not not to say not in our right mind, but it's hard to function fully when you're in pain. You're struggling.
It's hard to advocate for yourself, absorb all the information, especially if you're in there for a life-threatening situation that's happening.
Well, that's kind of unspoken.
Well, yes, of course. But the thing is all those layers, it's always good to have another ears and eyes, especially when you're trying to absorb this information the doctor's telling you, and then to have someone else ask the questions.
That's true. Yeah, have someone else ask the questions or write questions down beforehand. That's what I do a lot. I have really bad memory, brain fog. So writing things down can really help you. even if you bring someone else with you, they can ask the questions. And if the doctor's asking a million questions about your medical history, it can be really hard to like remember all of that. Oh,
Yes.
It's so hard for me to keep track of all the different procedures and everything that I've had. So have a list of your medications that you're actively taking. Have a list of questions that you want to ask so you have something to refer to. Check them off as you go if you need to. And it's good to also have like a short written description of like different surgeries and procedures that you've had and maybe where you've had them or the doctor's name. So at least you have something to refer to.
Especially when you're going to different specialists.
Yeah.
They don't always have your full records.
If you can bring your full record with you, if you have a new rheumatologist or a new specialist, if you're able to bring your full medical record with you, yes, definitely bring those medical records with you to any new specialist appointments. That will be very beneficial. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is if you feel like you're not being listened to or your care provider is not following your request to get certain medications or certain procedures done or anything like that, if they're telling you no, then you can say, okay, I want you to put this in my chart that you are refusing and why you are refusing this medication or this procedure. I want you to document in my chart that you are saying no and why you are saying no. Most of the time, they're going to switch up really quick because they're not going to want to document that they're telling you no. You are in charge of your healthcare.
Advocacy.
You need to be your number one advocate. You want something, you want a certain test done, you're asking about a certain medication that you found online or by a friend or whatever. You have the right to request these things. And health providers should not be saying no unless there's like a health risk for it. And they should be explaining that to us. So tell them, document in my chart that you're saying no and why you're saying no. And that will help you. And also, if this is happening to you a lot with that care provider, get a second opinion. Request a transfer. Get a different specialist. Get a different primary care doctor. If you feel like you are not being seen and not being heard, there is someone out there that will see you and will hear you. You might have to go through a couple assholes to get to that good one, but they are out there. I'm very lucky and blessed to have a great rheumatologist right now. So sweet. He always listens to me. He understands that I don't want to take a lot of medication, so he's not always just trying to push something else on me. We focus on naturopathic ways. He got me into doing acupuncture. He's been trying to push that for a while now, and I'm so glad that I listened and he gave me that referral. He's so kind, so sweet, to the point where at my last visit, I was telling him all the things that I'm going through and, you know, being a single mom and having my son that on the autism spectrum and being sick and how I've been having so many flare-ups. He's so kind to where he was like, I feel compelled to pray for you during my doctor's appointment.
Oh, wow.
It was a virtual visit, but that was so sweet. Like it really touched me. And you don't have to be like a super religious person or anything. It was just the thought and the care. He was like, I feel so compelled to just pray for you. Is that okay? And I was like, yes, of course. So I just sat there and he just prayed and like sent me a blessing during my doctor's appointment. Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
That's never happened to me before. That's how wonderful he is. And I'm so blessed that I have him. Shout out to my rheumatologist, who I won't name for their own privacy. But yeah, so sweet. He always listens to me. He's always very, very thorough. And I feel very grateful. And I had to go through a couple rheumatologists until I found this one. So out of personal experience, advocate for yourself. And if you feel like you're not being listened to, like I said, switch up.
Dump them.
Dump
their
them
asses.
and get another.
Do not, for the love of God, please do not feel bad about it.
Yeah, don't.
This
is
about
your health.
you.
This is your life.
It is about you. I have in the past, when I was first diagnosed, because they are specialists, I'm like, ugh, I feel bad for my parents to go through this change, to have to call a bunch of people.
And it takes time.
I feel bad. It takes time. I feel bad for the people, maybe the doctor thinking I'm horrible. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking about.
Rude and not listening.
If they are not listening to you, if you don't want to do what they're suggesting, if you don't believe them, if they don't believe you, any of that stuff, if you feel uncomfortable in any way, please switch it up. Yeah. Look, advocate for yourself. Call the insurance. If they tell you that it's not covered, fight them.
Yeah.
Fight them, because there are ways around things.
So I know it may sound like we're just like shitting on doctors or like complaining. There are many, many great doctors, care providers out there. But there are also some bad apples, unfortunately. So if you get a bad apple, or if they're decent, but you're just not clicking, maybe it's uncomfortable, you don't feel comfortable enough to open up about symptoms for any reason, if it's just not clicking, then you can switch too. Don't feel bad about that. When you're going and you're putting your trust in a doctor or a healthcare provider, you're putting your health, your life in their hands. Yes. You're asking for help. You're putting your trust in them. You have to feel comfortable to some degree. Mm-hmm. No matter how uncomfortable doctors' visits and stuff can be, you have to feel some sort of comfort and trust in them. Yeah. And if you don't feel that way, find another one. And don't feel bad about it. This is your life. Yeah. It's okay. Trust me, a lot of them, it's just insurance paydays anyway. Unfortunately, that is how our healthcare system has kind of become. But there are very genuine, very caring care providers out there as well. And I hope each and every one of you find one. Yes. Or have one already. That would be wonderful. If you put in the comments, you have a great one too. Because we don't get a lot of positive stories like that. We hear a lot of negative reviews and negative stories. So it's amazing, and it would be great to hear positive stories.
If you feel compelled, please share your stories in our comment section or privately message us. Please share us your stories. We want to know. We want to spread that positivity, because there's a lot of negativity around here.
There is, yeah.
But
so to wrap up this episode, thank you so much for listening and following along. We know there was a lot of statistics. It was a lot of just like information overload, but it was very educational. So we hope that you appreciate it just like we did. We learned a lot. I learned a lot researching this, so I'm glad that we did it. We want to do our check-in time.
Yes, tea time check-in. Do you want to say it, Mel?
Well, I'll ask you.
Okay, ask me.
What are some things that you've struggled with recently, and what is something that you've accomplished, big or small?
I've been struggling a lot recently with just overall stress, life stress.
We've had a lot of family issues, health issues.
We've had a lot of family health issues, health scares. Mm-hmm. I've not been feeling well myself. Yeah. You know, what's new. But also, I don't want to get political, but everything going on with the war.
Yeah.
Everything right now. It's really scary. It's a lot of high anxiety. And there are a lot of people that I know very intimately that this stuff is affecting them and their families. Yeah. And my heart goes out to everybody. And I get really emotional talking about it, so I'm not going to go any further. But that's one thing I've been really struggling with, this heightened sensitivity to all emotions right now. Yeah. And so, but something that I have been celebrating is I am reading a lot more. I am focusing on myself and focusing on my hobbies. I try to get off the internet as much as I can, because it's just too much.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming, like coming from all different angles, the TV, the phones, the this and that. It's just like, oh everything. My God.
And I have to learn that not everything's in my control. And I just have to shut off. Sometimes you have to, for your own mental health. So I've been shutting off a lot lately and just doing my own thing, listening to more music, organizing my room, organizing my records, and listening to more of my physical media, records, cassette tapes, and getting into that more, and spending time with my friends and my family. That's good. I know I always say that, but that's one thing this year that I'm really focusing on. So what about you? What have you been struggling with lately, and what have you been celebrating?
So I would like to touch on basically a lot of the things that you said, everything going on with the war and just stress and political, all that stuff. So it's a lot. And then our family stress, a lot of the family health scares, that has been a lot. So it's caused me to, worsen in symptoms, have a little flare up these past couple days. So I've been trying to navigate that. This heat is not helping. It was 100 degrees the other day.
Yeah.
100 degrees.
And if you don't
March.
If you don't know, we're in Southern California.
Like, we're used to it, right? But like, dude,
Out of nowhere, it was nice
we
and
didn't even
chilly
get a winter.
and brisk.
We didn't even get a freaking winter. But anyways, we're more fortunate than others, yes, but unfortunately, the sun and the heat makes me sick. So that has not been helping combined with everything else going on. So I've been struggling. But something that I want to say that I've accomplished, or something that has helped me just kind of get through my day, get through my week, spending time with my family, spending time with my loved ones, and these health scares have really, it's been like another little wake-up call. Time is short with our family and friends, and we're not promised tomorrow. Like, one of my favorite quotes is "Live like you're gonna die tomorrow," and I try to go with that day in and day out. Don't be shy to say I love you, to tell the people that you love them, and how much you love them and why, because you just never know. You never
really
know.
You really never know.
So that would be what I want to end with. But also, speaking of what you mentioned with the war and everything, shout out to our military personnel and their families. Thank you very much for your service.
All right. Yes. Thank you, guys. And so for our resources, I know we said it earlier, but just to reiterate, our main resources for the statistics that we used today was autoimmune.org, autoimmuneinstitute.org, and lupusresearch.org. So we want to ask you guys the question, what have you been struggling with lately, and what have you accomplished? What have you celebrated? I know it's a hard thing to think about and do at these times, but please do it as little as they are.
Try to stay positive.
Yes, celebrate the wins, even if they're small.
No matter how small.
No matter how small they are. So we want to thank you guys so much for listening. And if you guys aren't okay with sharing your story or anything like that, please tell us, what are the hobbies that you've been into recently? I've been into, we both have been into reading a lot lately. We have our own little book club podcast coming soon.
Yes, stay tuned.
And stay tuned to that. And so we've been reading a lot more. I've been painting and doing all these little things for me and listening to music. So what are your hobbies? What have you been doing for yourself lately? And we want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for staying with us and for listening. We will catch you next time.
Bye.